Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, I got a couple of minutes, so you got to listen fast. Altaf Hussein, our beloved brother, talked about peace. Imam Siraj Wahaj talked about mercy. And I'm going to take a few moments to talk about something that's critical, and that is justice. You've heard some of the civil rights leaders, when they have demonstrations, they march and they say, no justice, no peace. And there is something here I want to take from the same page of Imam Siraj Wahaj, from the same page. I don't know how to stand still when I speak to you, so I like to move around. Harvard Law School, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. This is the university that President Obama graduated from. In the entrance of the faculty library is an ayat from the Quran saying that it is one of the greatest demonstrations of peace, of justice in the history of the world. O you who believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses for Allah, even against your own self or your parents or your near relatives, against the rich or the poor. Stand up for justice. We as Muslims must realize that it is a commandment of Allah to stand for justice. Why? لَقَدْ قَرَمْنَا بَنِي Adam. Allah mentioned in Quran, Allah has honored the children of Adam. النَّاسُ كُلُّهُمْ بَنُو Adam وَآدَمْ مِنْ تُرَابٍ. Allah has created everyone from Adam, and Adam is from the dust. I need a brother to come up here. You come up for a minute. Come up here. Never sit in the front row when Imam Siraj is giving a talk, because I'm going to pick on you. You weren't expecting me to call you, right? You okay? You nervous? You nervous?
No.
Yes. I want you to guess, how much food does the average American eat a year? I know you don't know the answer, but I want you to make a reasonable guess. How much food, how many pounds of food does the average American eat every year?
Every year? I have no idea.
Give me a guess.
Every day?
Every year.
Every year?
Yes.
Almost 1,400 pounds.
Very good. Okay, you did good. Let me walk you off the stage. You did good. The average American eats 1,996 pounds of food a year. Almost 1 ton. And the average European country, people drink between 200 and 300 liters of water a day. United States, 575 liters of water a day. Arizona, 1,000 liters of water a day. And United Kingdom, the average person uses 50 liters of water a day just to flush their toilet. And yet there are some people around the world, like Mozambique, the average person uses 10 liters of water a day. I didn't say drink 10 liters of water a day. They use 10 liters of water a day to drink, to wash their bodies, to wash their clothing, to wash their utensils. We must establish justice because people are dignified. Allah made us special. And we as Muslims must make sure that we establish justice for everyone, the black and the white. You be careful when a black person say Black Lives Matter and you answer by saying all lives matter, you gave the wrong answer. Because when a black person say Black Lives Matter, it is a summary of what they're really saying. They're saying Black Lives Matter also. And if all lives matter, you don't have to say Black Lives Matter. So Muslims are people that establish justice. I've come to the conclusion, I'm not quick to judge people. I don't have no problem with nobody living their own life if we as Muslims haven't told them the truth. Judgments we make. I was in Calgary, Canada this Ramadan, and a brother was taking me to the airport. He said, you know, Imam Siraj, years ago, one night after Salatul Taraweeh, they make Salatul Taraweeh like 11 o'clock at night, or 12 o'clock at night. So they finish like 12:30 in the morning. He said a white man came to him. He was coming out of the masjid. He said, sir, I need your help. I'm a Christian and I called my Christian friends. I lost my wallet. I need $300 to get home. I'm driving a truck. I said to myself, listen, I'm from New York. I know game when I hear it. So he said he went to the masjid. He said, I don't have all the money, but he went to the masjid. He collected $300 and he gave it to the man. And I'm about to tell him, say, brother, listen, he just played you. He told me 2 years later, one day that same man was in the masjid. And he said to him, do you remember me? He said, yes, I remember you. That man now is a Muslim. Judgments we make, and you never know. What's my evidence? The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said that there was a prophet that was beaten by his people so much that his face began to bleed, and he wiped the blood from his face and said, Allahumma ikfir li qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamun. Oh Allah, forgive my people because they don't know. How can you condemn and blame if they don't know? This Ramadan, I was in Orlando. I had dinner with a brother, African American, named Arthur Richards. 6 years ago, he took Shahada, became a Muslim, 6 years ago. He said to me, and he's studying now in Al-Azhar. He said to me that he went to a place called Guinea-Bissau, which is West Africa, different from Guinea. Guinea-Bissau, the official language, Portuguese. Guinea, official language, French. Colonized. He said an entire tribe took Shahada. 7,000 people. Why? Because their chief took Shahada. And once the chief took Shahada, the entire tribe took Shahada. Our job, if you want to establish justice, you got to bring the truth. On the day of judgment, the Prophet said that Allah would bring Noah, and Allah would ask Noah, Hal balagta? Did you deliver the message? Qala na'am, yes, my Lord. And then Allah will ask the people, How balagakum? Did he deliver the message? They said, no one came to us. And then Allah will ask Noah, who will bear witness for you? Qala Muhammad wa ummatahu. Muhammad and his ummah. Brothers and sisters, we have a lot of work to do. Can I share with you a little bit of my concern? I went to Memphis, Tennessee last year. We had a fundraiser for a Muslim school, Pleasantville School. We raised $950,000 for a Muslim school. That's good. I went to a city in Canada, Fort McMurray, Canada, Juma prayer, raised $1,250,000 for the expansion of the masjid. That's good. And everywhere I go, I see Muslims raising money. But I see so few Muslims raising money to give da'wah to the people to bring them to Islam. I leave you with this. Any of you ever heard of Arnold Toynbee? Arnold Toynbee is perhaps one of the greatest historians of our modern time. He wrote a 12-volume book. You don't have to read it. Maybe Altaf Hussein, he may want to read it. A 12-volume history of the world. And I'm going to say three things that he said, and then I'm going to conclude. He said, number one, civilizations are not murdered. They commit suicide. And that's what's happening around the world today in America. People are committing suicides. This one here is scary. He said, of the 22 civilizations that have appeared in history, 19 of them collapsed when they reached the moral state that the United States is in now. He died in 1975, which means that it's worse now than it's been there. And finally, he said, this is not a Muslim. He said, the solution to all international conflicts lies only in embracing Islam en masse, because Islam is the only religion that can transcend nationalism. I see with great dismay that nationalism is gaining grounds even among the bearers of the Quran. I will hope for the day when all humanity will break this idol and unite all as the children of God. Brothers and sisters, I have great faith in our deen, but we as Muslims have to stand up and speak out firmly for justice. Martin Luther King Jr. said, he who gets behind in a race must forever remain behind or run faster than the man up front. And now the Muslims must stand up in these times and stand up firmly and be those who project and demand justice. But if you're going to be just, justice begins with ourselves. Oh Allah, I have been greatly unjust to myself. So therefore, brothers and sisters, the Muna Conference, may Allah bless you to go back to your cities. And don't stay in the masjids, but get out now and get out in the streets and share this unbelievable message to the masses of the people. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless Muna. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.